Look, let's start off then with the crypto prices because they did pump hard the last couple of days after Trump teased a national crypto reserve, but the hype didn't last long. So Monday US time and here in Australia, the markets have actually cooled off because of the tariff and inflation worries that have crept back in. Bitcoin is down nearly 8%, slipping back below 86K after almost hitting 95K. Ethereum has dumped back down to around 21,000. We're talking US dollars, losing 15%. But let's talk about the story that kind of got everyone excited. What happened, Blake?
That's right. So our Sunday morning, Australian time, Trump came out with a tweet to say that they were going to commit to a strategic crypto stockpile, which includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, XRP, and Solana, which is definitely broadening the scope of what's previously been discussed. And as a result, the crypto markets pumped out of hours, New York time. And yeah, I think ADA jumped 50%. I saw Ethereum up at 16% at one point. And it was all on. And Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, was berating around Twitter, talking about how exciting this is.
After hours.
But yeah, did you see this, Zeneca, as it popped up on the weekend?
Oh yeah, you could not miss it. I think we had the biggest daily candle for Bitcoin in history, and then it was preceded by the second worst day in daily history. It's been a roller coaster of all roller coasters.
It's been crazy. And Eric Trump came out and said, congratulations, this is a first where retail investors can front run the institutions because the announcement was made on the weekend by Donald Trump. And there was no commitments around size or anything like that about how much of these digital assets I'll be purchasing. But it looks like it's moving in the right direction.
Talking about front running, there was a sizable long on Ethereum and Bitcoin as well in the few hours leading up to it.
That's right. There was a $200 million leverage long position put on, just 50x leverage just before the announcement was made. They cleaned up a cool $6 million in a very short period of time.
It was a very tight.
I think that same trader also made a short just before the tariff announcement.
Really?
Got announced yesterday. So also made a bunch of money that way. Yeah. Crime season in full swing.
So what do you think about this reserve, Zeneca? Is it going to happen this year? The coins, how are you feeling about it?
I'm in strategic Bitcoin reserve. I'm all behind. I think as you add other cryptocurrencies, it just loses its allure. I think they should just stick to Bitcoin. I could maybe get behind like Bitcoin ETH, maybe Bitcoin ETH Sol, but as they just get further and further down the list, it just starts to, I think, lose credibility. Maybe it's good in the short term for pumping the price of these tokens, especially if the US government is buying them. There's a lot of speculation around Bitcoin. The question was, are they going to buy more Bitcoin or just like not sell the Bitcoin they already have? But presumably they don't already have stockpiles of Sol and ADA and Ripple. So yeah, it could be good short term, but I would prefer if they just stuck to Bitcoin.
Yeah, I was really surprised that we didn't see follow through. This is possibly the biggest announcement to ever happen in crypto, in my opinion, because it really fundamentally changes the dynamics of how the market will work if they do follow through. And it was short-lived.
But we did see before that, I think it was on the Friday that they announced that the crypto summit that's going to happen on the 7th. So when's that? It's only a couple of days away that summit will happen. Will they talk further about the reserve this coming week?
Possibly, yeah. But they're also working on a host of stuff from regulation. There's a bunch of cases recently been dropped by the SEC against major exchanges and digital asset platforms and firms. So, yeah, I think there'll be a few things going on there, but there's probably a few ways they can skin a cat with this. They have the new sovereign wealth fund that could be used as a vehicle, or they could use other strategies in order to obtain this crypto, yeah.
Does it also mean they don't sell the current Bitcoin that they have in holdings?
That would make sense, yeah. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we can do some lobbying and he can buy it.
Any further thoughts on this one, Zen?
Not really. I think with Trump, you just don't know what's going to come. So it's just wait and see and hope for the best and strap on for the next, 1,400 days we have of this, because it's just going to be nuts.
It's going to be a bit of whiplash, but, like Blake said, this is one of the biggest shifts that we've seen. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, before we move on, maybe let's just highlight why the market has dumped. Trump's come out and said that there's going to be tariffs of 25% on Canada and on Mexico and 10% tariffs on all Chinese goods coming into the US. So it's definitely spooked markets. Tech stocks sold off overnight, and as a result, the whole market's dumped, and it's not looking good in the short term. And as a result of that, yeah, any gains that were made on the weekend are now obliterated.
Gone again.
Vaporized.
Tariffs are live now, I think. He was talking about tariffs before, but he said they're going live tomorrow, which is now today. And I think as of an hour ago, they're out there.
So this just means that it's just uncertainty, and markets hate uncertainty. And I think that's what's going to be, in play for the foreseeable future. So we could just hang around here for quite some time.
Yeah, that's right. So hopefully there's enough turbulence where, the Fed turns on the money printer again, starts quantitative easing, and then we're back on to the races.
Again, we're still talking about a couple of months though, aren't we? So we're going to be talking this way for a few months. Okay, we're going to talk about Trump again, but let's do something else in the meantime.